Yo, check this out. Family values, right? Cheating spouses? Yeah, we're going there. If you're down with keeping it real and hate cheaters, smash that like button and subscribe. Let's dive into this mess. Jake Riker's boots hit the cracked concrete, each step sharp, controlled. The kind of control you get from years in the shadows. Special ops, elite level, now retired, but the edge was still razor sharp. New York City air in October, crisp, smelling of exhaust, and something else. Something wrong. He stopped at the corner of the brownstone, senses cranked. The garage light, usually motion-activated, stayed dark. Red flag city, hand moved. Muscle memory, reaching for the Glock that wasn't there anymore. Civilian now, supposed to be. Felt naked. Eyes scanned the driveway, picked up fresh oil stains, recent visitor. 3 distinct patterns, 3 vehicles. Mind mapped it instantly. Angles, distances, ambush points. Garage, classic kill zone. If he was setting it up, he knew exactly where he'd place his team. Garage door motor whined, silence shattered, tension cranked another notch. Jake breathed steady, fingers hovering over the light switch. Body coiled, ready to spring. Darkness inside was thick, heavy. Squeak of shoe on concrete, rookie mistake. Workbench area, faint rustle of fabric, storage shelves. Second guy. Third one, ghost, silent. The dangerous one. Flipped the light switch. Nothing. Lights offline. Clever, but not enough. Moonlight seeped through dusty windows, enough for eyes like his. Figure peeled itself from the shadows, tactical knife flashing dim light. Eastern European stance, military trained. Knife slashed. Jake moved, effortless, strike evaded. Hand clamped on the attacker's wrist, pressure point, radial nerve. Snap of bone, knife clatter, scream ripped through the silence. One down. Second guy charged from the workbench, low and powerful, wrestler's build. Leg takedown incoming. Jake's knee shot up, combat reflex, years distilled into one move. Kneecap connected with chin, brutal force. Teeth shattered, guy went down. Lights out. 2 down. Third guy. Emerged from behind an SUV, smooth, deliberate. Suppressed Glock 19. Steady grip. Pro-level mods. Assessed weapon, shooter's position, instant calculation. No hesitation. Heisted the first attacker's limp body, human shield. 2 muffled shots thudded into the corpse. Impact vibrating through Jake's arms. Fluid motion, snatched the fallen knife, hurled it, deadly accurate. Blade found its mark, shooter's throat, gurgling choke. 3 down. Jake scanned the scene, cold detachment. 3 operatives, well-equipped, coordinated. 2 would live, barely. Third was done. Pro hit, no doubt. Rummaged through pockets, phone tumbled out. Screen glowing, incoming message. Froze. Read the text. Make sure he suffers. I want him to know it was me before he dies. Sender, Sarah Perez, his wife, 15 years. Words cut like shards of glass. Shared memories, whispered secrets, all shattered. Steady hands. Jake typed a reply. He begged for mercy, mentioned your name. Send. Outgoing chime echoed in the tense air. No time to waste. Secured the scene, zip-tied the survivors. Restraints tight. Not cruel. They might be useful later. Confrontation. Less than 2 minutes. Now, the real fight. Brownstone loomed, familiar glow, mocking reminder of their life. Jake moved like a ghost, circling, checking entry points, hazards, gap in curtains, glimpse inside. Sarah pacing, golden hair shimmering lamplight, vision he used to cherish. Not alone. Tall guy, sharp features, Slavic. Stance, rigid, military. Recognition slammed Jake. Dmitry Volkov. Russian operative, Belgrade op gone sideways years ago. Puzzle pieces clicked. Sarah's sudden interest in his past, probing questions, unexplained nights out. Years. Their marriage, a staged op. It's done. Sarah's voice, faint through the glass. Phone held up, showing Jake's fake reply. They just confirmed it. Dimitri's stoic face eased, posture relaxed. Are you certain? He asked. They said he begged, she replied, smile tugging her lips. Smile Jake once believed in. How many smiles were lies? Sarah started her act, voice a fake symphony of sorrow. I can't believe it. He was fine this morning. Carjacking gone wrong, they're saying. No. Jake gripped the windowsill, knuckles white. Every word, every gesture, knife twist deeper. But he didn't break. Mind clear, focused. Whatever her motive, whatever her truth, he'd find it. Sarah would learn who she underestimated. Something felt off. Dmitri stepped closer, hands on her shoulders, gentle, practiced, intimate. You're perfect, darling, he murmured. Soon he'll be out of the picture. Everything we fought for, last 3 years, finally ours. 3 years, punch to the gut. Timeline scrambled in Jake's mind. Started subtle, tiny changes, easy to ignore. New friends he never met, late nights for work, weird interest in his business. Dismissed it all as marriage ebb and flow. Fool, Sarah whispered, leaning into Dimitri's touch. Waited so long for this. Playing dutiful wife to that self-righteous hypocrite. Always so sure of his goodness, noble one. Scorn dripped from her words. He never saw it coming. Jake stood frozen, face unreadable. Beneath the calm, mind raced, cataloging options, plans forming. Every vulnerability, shared secret, kiss, weaponized against him, betrayal absolute. But they screwed up, underestimated him. Jake pulled an old phone from a drawer, relic untouched for years. Dialed a number, 2 rings. Gravel voice answered. This better be important, Riker. Detective Miller, Jake said, tone low, steady. I need you. How fast can we meet? Silence. Miller, veteran NYPD, knew Jake too well to ignore the weight of the call. Too much history, close calls, life or death, bonds of trust. Give me an hour, Miller replied finally. Usual place. Jake hung up, eyes back to the window. Sarah and Dmitri, locked together, savoring their fake victory. Confronting them now, simple, swift, too merciful. Treachery methodical, intentional. Reckoning deserved to match the crime. Jake melted into shadows, leaving them to their triumph. Let them think they won. Let them revel. He had work to do. The rusty mug, dive bar on the edge of town, questions discouraged, anonymity guaranteed. Jake arrived early, movements honed by years of black ops. Corner table, clear view of every entrance, Exit. Bartender, grizzled, haunted eyes, wordlessly slid a beer across the counter. Brief nod, silent acknowledgement, shared world of shadows. Jake's mind, precise, analyzed the night's events. Ambush planned, sloppy execution, accounted for his skills, not his instincts. Critical mistake. Right on time, Detective Miller walked in, leather jacket barely hiding the badge. Sharp eyes swept the room, then locked on Jake's table, ordered whiskey, settled opposite. "You look surprisingly alive for a dead guy," Miller quipped, dry tone. Jake raised an eyebrow. "News travels fast." "3 bodies in your garage tends to make headlines," Miller replied, taking a deliberate sip. "So, why shouldn't I be cuffing you right now?" Jake slid his phone across the table. "See for yourself." Miller's eyes darkened, scrolling through messages. Each piece of evidence deepened his frown. "Sarah and Volkov," Miller said, voice grim. "Dmitri Volkov," Jake clarified. "Remember him? Russian from Belgrade?" Miller's face hardened. "That bastard. He's in this?" "Years," Jake said, emotionless. "Using my marriage, collecting intel, selling to the highest bidder." Miller studied Jake, saw the seething fury beneath the surface calm. "You're going after them." "They tried to kill me in my house," Jake said flatly. "What do you think?" Miller sighed, pulled out his own phone. "You remember Belgrade. Volkov leveled a building just to get away. Now he's got Sarah." "She knows everything," Jake replied. "Protocols, contacts, 15 years of classified ops. She was thorough." "This is bigger than you, Jake," Miller warned. "If they've been selling that kind of intel—" Jake cut him off. "That's why it has to stop, permanently." Miller nodded reluctantly. "I'll dig up what I can. Accounts, safe houses, leads. But Jake, this has to stay clean. I can't cover for you if it goes sideways." Jake's lips twitched, faint smile. "When have I ever been messy?" "Belgrade," Miller shot back instantly. "This feels personal. That's what worries me." Miller left. Jake stayed, untouched beer warming, mind churning. Sarah's practiced charm, Volkov's smug grin. Anger burned cold, sharpening focus. Phone buzzed, message from Miller. Initial findings, offshore accounts, shell corporations, ties to arms dealers. Sarah and Volkov built an empire while he played oblivious husband. Jake smiled, sharp, dangerous. They used him as a pawn. Now he'd dismantle everything they built, bit by bit, bring it all crashing down. Stood, left cash on the table, headed for the door. Other patrons instinctively avoided his gaze, sensing the storm inside. Crisp night air bit his face. Winter coming, but Jake had no time to wait. Mission to complete. Sarah's latest message to her hired guns demanded verification. Silence stretched. Jake imagined her mounting frustration, doubt creeping in. Excellent. Let her wrestle with fear. Let her speculate why her flawless plan failed. Jake intended to dismantle everything they held dear, just as they tried to destroy him. Unlike their swift, efficient attempt on his life, his vengeance would be slow, meticulous, absolute. He'd savor watching their carefully curated lives unravel, powerless to stop it. Starting his car, Jake's thoughts formed the next steps in his calculated retaliation. Others might drown in whiskey or lash out in blind fury after betrayal. Jake had mastered transforming suffering into strategy. Pain became purpose, raw emotion refined into action. This moment, no different. Evening shadows deepened. Enormity of Sarah's treachery settled over him. 15 years, shared life, now tainted, corroded. Betrayal suffocating, pressing on his chest. Practiced control, locked anguish away, encased in unyielding resolve. Morning could wait. Battle now. Their attempt swift, his retaliation protracted descent into ruin. First move, preparation. Jake pulled into a motel parking lot, city edge, cash only, no questions. Foresight, emergency prep, caches of money, tools, scattered citywide, habit from ops training. Sarah dismissed it as excessive. Plain room, utilitarian, powered up, secure laptop, another insurance policy she missed. Reactivating dormant accounts, aliases, unearthed remnants of buried past life, kept secret even from Sarah. Irony sharp. Their betrayal thrived on secrecy. His vengeance would too. Phone vibrated. Message from Miller. Financial records, regular offshore payments, network of operatives, scale of operation far beyond initial guess. Sarah and Volkov hadn't just gathered intel, constructed intricate covert network. Jake's fingers flew across keyboard, tracing money flows, connections. Each transaction, vivid picture, weapons, bribes, informants, thorough, professional, critical error, assumed Jake wouldn't survive to untangle the web. Now, that web would become their downfall. Jake reached out to old contacts, secure channels calling in overdue favors. Within hours, secret accounts disrupted, safe houses compromised, allies receiving damning evidence of betrayal. Grim smile. They thought they robbed him of everything, forgot one truth: wounded predator most dangerous. Later that night, phone buzzed. Sarah's message to mercenaries, desperation creeping in. "Why aren't you responding? Is it done?" Jake powered down device, let her frantic question linger unanswered. Let doubts fester. Let her question her flawless plan's failure. By dawn, she'd be convinced widow, ready to embrace new life with Volkov. Wouldn't know old life had unfinished business. Every step they took towards imagined future, noose tightened. Jake weaving it around them. They scripted his demise. Now he'd rewrite their story, crushing line by line. Morning sun over city. Jake set up surveillance, abandoned office building, overlooking Sarah's usual cafe. Powerful lens, watched her morning routine, shared for 15 years. Dressed black, playing grieving widow, chilling precision. "Wife's quite the actress," Miller's voice crackled earpiece. "Ex-wife," Jake replied, tone cold steel, adjusted lens. "What you got for me?" "You're not gonna like it," Miller said, shuffling papers. "Accounts siphoned for years. Small amounts, barely noticeable." Jake's jaw tightened. "How much?" "Close to 2 million. Funneled through shell companies, Cayman account, tied to our Russian friend." "Send me everything." "Already did. But more." "Remember classified files from Belgrade vanished?" Jake's voice sharp. "They've resurfaced?" "Bits and pieces," Miller confirmed. "Being sold to wrong people. This isn't just about you anymore." Lens focused. Volkov arrived cafe, demeanor careful, amateurish. Jake's voice dropped, command issued. "Follow the transfers. Map of every account they touched." "Next move?" "Sit tight, watch the show," Jake said, measured tone. Adjusted directional mic, eavesdropping Sarah and Volkov. Her performance flawless, puffy eyes, trembling hands, clutching coffee. "Police have nothing," she said, voice heavy, fake grief. "Random carjacking gone wrong?" Volkov reached across table, took her hand. "You're handling this perfectly, my love. Few more days, move rest of assets." "Just want it to end," Sarah said, twisting wedding ring, erasing Logan. "It will," Volkov assured. "Deals finalized, we vanish." Jake's finger hovered camera shutter, capturing gesture, word. Each recorded moment, avalanche of evidence. Phone buzzed, text unlisted number. Package delivered. Account access terminated. Perfect timing. Lens. Jake saw Volkov check phone. Man's face stoic, but Jake caught jaw tightening. First domino. "Something wrong?" Sarah asked, picking up unease. "Minor issue," Volkov said, irritation bleeding through. "Account frozen." Sarah's mask slipped, crack in composure. "How could that happen?" "Technical glitch," he said, frustration palpable. "Fixed soon." Jake faint smirk. Account wouldn't be fixed. Funds rerouted to children's charities. Poetic end for ill-gotten gains. Phase 2, ready to begin. "Phase 2 ready," he murmured softly. "You absolutely sure about this?" Miller's voice, steady but uncertain. "Once rules set, can rewrite the game," Jake replied, methodically organizing gear, calm precision. Days laying groundwork, scattered false leads, tampered digital files, rumors of duplicity spread criminal network like wildfire. Time for fallout. Geneva private banking office, as he remembered, discreet sophistication, polished marble grandeur. Tailored suit, Jake stepped seamlessly into refined financial consultant guise. Bank manager, Monsieur Laurent, greeted him, practiced warmth. "Been too long, Monsieur Riker," Laurent said, cordial tone. "Time slips past," Jake replied smoothly, well-worn persona. "Documents arrived without issue?" Laurent gestured stack of papers desk. "They have, though patterns they suggest, troubling." "Show me," Jake instructed, measured tone. Next hour, meticulously reviewed account records Jake fabricated, painstaking detail, each page, undeniable picture illicit dealings, money laundering, intel trading, trails leading back to Sarah and Volkov's network. "Understand," Jake said, feigned gravity. "These transactions compel us to freeze accounts, further investigation." Laurent nodded, reaching for phone. "Notify compliance immediately." Jake exited bank, clock ticking. Within hours, Sarah and Volkov's financial empire crumbling. Severing resources, first move only. Phone buzzed as he approached rental car. "Update," Jake said. "Done," Miller's voice, clear. "Evidence planted every key location. Ready initiate investigation whenever you are." Associates circulating forged messages you crafted. Network in turmoil. Half think exposed, other half suspect betrayal. Jake started engine, thoughts shifting to next step. "Sarah, how's she reacting?" "Unraveling. This morning, tried accessing old accounts, left digital breadcrumbs everywhere." "Ensure traces lead somewhere advantageous." "Handled. By tomorrow, multiple agencies closing in on her." Jake ended call, confident momentum of plan. Foundation laid, time to escalate. Underground garage, selected spot clear view surroundings. Minutes, sleek black Mercedes pulled in. Volkov emerged, composed demeanor cracking under weeks of crisis. "You're late," Jake called from shadows. Volkov froze, hand instinctively moved concealed weapon. "Who's there?" "Someone familiar with your operations?" Jake said, voice modulator. "Someone not impressed?" No idea what you're talking about. Volkov bluffed, defiant tone. Jake sent file to Volkov's phone. Maybe these account numbers refresh memory? Or Belgrade files? Volkov's face paled, scanned data. How did you... Irrelevant. Decision matters. Partner or your own skin? Volkov's jaw tightened. Partner. Sarah Perez. We know she's been assisting you, accessing classified intel. Turn her in. Proof might walk away. If I refuse? Every agency, DC to Moscow, aware of extracurricular activities. Handlers won't be pleased. Volkov's bravado wavered. You're bluffing. Checked accounts recently? Jake faint smile. Just beginning. 24 hours. Choose wisely. Jake departed. Knew Volkov's survival instincts eclipse Sarah's loyalty. Next stage, precision. Sarah needed to be desperate, not defeated yet. Anxious enough for critical mistakes. Phone buzzed, notification. Target attempted access emergency funds. Access denied. Perfect. News tightening. Surveillance feed. Jake watched Sarah pacing home office, phone clutched tight. Cracks polished exterior widening. What do you mean, can't access it? She barked into phone. Volkov's frustration audible. Nothing secure anymore. Someone targeting us. Impossible. Nobody knew those accounts except... Her voice trailed off. Except who? Where are you? She demanded. Meet. Bad idea. Volkov replied, tone lowering. Being watched. By whom? No clue, but they know everything. Belgrade. The deals. Logan. Don't say his name, she snapped, composure shattering. He's dead. We insured it. Did we? Volkov countered. No body. Hitman didn't survive. Someone's piecing it together. Her voice dropped whisper. What are you going to do? Disappear. Need time to assess. No, you can't abandon me. Contact you in 24 hours. Line dead. Jake watched Sarah stare at phone, frantically pulled hard copies files from desk drawer. Evidence she believed untouchable. Activated comms. She's moving files, exactly as anticipated. Police standby, Miller confirmed. Anonymous tip sent. Not yet, Jake said firmly. She needs to feel cornered, not captured. Vigilance, stand your ground. Jake observed Sarah frantically stuffing Paper's briefcase, fingers unsteady, motions abrupt, poise shattered, darting glances, shoulder checks, startled by slightest sound. Self-assured strategist week ago. Dissolved paranoid shell. Phone vibrated, new alert. Photo, operatives, Volkov. Conversation notorious intel broker. Right on time, Jake remarked. Russian counterpart making his move. How soon before planted intel reaches handlers? Already in play, Miller replied. FSB reviewing damning evidence about operatives' extracurricular dealings as we speak. Rare satisfaction flickered across Jake's face. Volkov cornered. Soon, snared between factions, each convinced betrayal. Pressured all sides, Volkov desperate. Desperation, inevitably, fatal errors. Surveillance feed. Jake watched Sarah exit office. Briefcase clutched tight, armored. Pace hurried. Keep eyes on her, he instructed team. Detailed updates every move. Moments later, earpiece crackled. She's heading for private airport, report came. Seems she's planning run. Jake checked time. Right on cue. Everything prepped? Plan tampered with, per orders. Pass cursory inspection, won't leave ground. Perfect, Jake said, taking position. Anticipation churned. Imminent confrontation. Keep watch. Don't intervene, he commanded. They needed to believe they were utterly alone. Years, special forces, art of orchestrating chaos, adversaries destroying themselves. Now, applying same principles, dismantle lives of betrayers. Sarah and Volkov conspired to ruin him, unwittingly scripted own undoing. Midnight shroud, private airstrip still, solitary runway stretching darkness. Grim promise. Vantage point, maintenance building roof. Jake spotted Sarah's car approaching security gate. Carefully laid plan unfolding flawlessly. Target 1 approaching south, he murmured radio. Status Target 2? Volkov's car spotted access road, Miller reported. 3 minutes away. Everything in place, Jake confirmed, shifting position. Day's prep, airstrip meticulously crafted trap. Reckoning close. Sarah's vehicle halted near hangar, stepped out, briefcase clutched tight. Even afar, unease palpable. Paced by car, nervous glances phone, confident exterior stripped away, raw anxiety. "Where are you?" she muttered, voice directional mic. Moments later, hum approaching tires made her whirl. Volkov's black Mercedes view, headlights briefly illuminated distressed face. "You're late," she snapped as Volkov emerged car. "Careful," he replied, eyes scanning hangar, calculated weariness. FSB asking pointed questions, very specific. Sarah's voice tightened. "Kind of questions?" "Kind end in executions," Volkov growled. "Someone leaked everything, meetings, bank accounts, transactions, all out." "Impossible," she insisted. "Records secure." Volkov stepped closer, tone venomous. "Nothing secure anymore. Whoever's behind this dismantling us piece by piece." Sarah held up briefcase. "Then we leave. Now, new identities, accounts, everything disappear." Volkov's face hardened. "Plan changed." Jake watched armed men emerge shadows, weapons trained Sarah. Stunned reaction unmistakable. "What is this?" she whispered. "Survival," Volkov said coldly. "Hand over briefcase. Maybe salvage something." "After everything we've done together?" Sarah's voice quavered. Volkov bitter laugh. "Together? You were tool. Exploit Jake's intelligence. Now, liability." Jake's lip curved smirk as scene unfolded, exactly planned. "Sir." Miller's voice, earpiece. "Law enforcement vehicles inbound." "Hold positions," Jake ordered. "Let them get closer." Below, Sarah backed away, clutching briefcase. "You're going to kill me?" she said, tone unexpectedly steady. Volkov's smile chilling. "Consider it kindness, compared what we planned for Jake." Sarah's laughter burst out, hysteria. "Want to know something funny?" she said. "We never found his body. Assassin's dead, but Jake..." He vanished. Before Volkov reply, voice echoed hangar speakers. "Incredible. What people confess. Think time's up." Volkov froze, weapon raised. "Jake!" Distorted voice rang. "Did you really believe I'd fall so easy? Wouldn't have contingency?" "Show yourself," Volkov barked. "Why?" Jake taunted. "So your men can fail to kill me like everyone else?" Button press remote. Jake activated next phase. Volkov barely timed to register warning. "Maybe ask your team about chats they've had with their true employer." Jake's voice taunted shadows. Spinning, Volkov caught sight backup crew, weapons now aimed squarely at him. "What's going on?" he barked, voice disbelief. "Precaution," one said, words thick accent. "Moscow sends regards." Chill ran Volkov's veins as Jake's mocking tone echoed again.
Trust, Volkov. Fragile thing. Takes hint betrayal. People question everything. Your men, for instance, curious, discovered you'd been skimming profits from intel they risked lives to gather.
Behind him, Sarah, taking advantage chaos, inching waiting plane, briefcase tight. "This can't be happening." Her voice quivered. "You're supposed to be dead. We killed you." "You tried," Jake said, stepping view catwalk above. Expression calm, words laced venom. "But as with everything else you've attempted, you failed. Pretending to mourn me, building little empire, betraying your country. All failures." "Jake." Sarah whispered his name, weight, guilt, disbelief. Her voice rose desperation. "How long have you known?" "Long enough to dismantle everything you built," Jake replied, steady, unyielding. "Every account emptied, safe house compromised, ally cut off. It's all over." Volkov's radio crackled, voice other end, urgent. "Sir, law enforcement closing in. Here in 2 minutes." "Right on schedule," Jake remarked, gaze unwavering. "Still have a choice. Plane fueled, ready, runway clear. Though, personally, wouldn't trust maintenance. Who knows what's been tampered with?" Volkov's face hardened. No hesitation. Turned, fired, killing both former comrades cold blood. Swinging weapon. Sarah snarled, "Give me briefcase." "Volkov, don't!" she pleaded, voice raw panic. "Police almost here. If they catch me, I'll rot prison." Ignoring her, Volkov ripped briefcase from grasp. Voice icy, devoid emotion. "Nothing personal, just survival." Sprinted toward plane. Jake motionless catwalk, watching plan unfold, grim satisfaction. Volkov's self-preservation instincts, predictable as ever, sealed fate. Engines roared life, mingling approaching sirens. Jake began counting silently. 5, 4, 3. Plane surged forward, gaining speed runway. Sarah fell knees inside hangar, hands trembling, watching last chance freedom fade distance. 2, 1. Suddenly, first engine sputtered, quickly second. Jake's sabotage meticulous, no room error. Plane veered wildly off course, momentum carrying it nearby field. Deafening explosion lit night sky. Flames licking darkness, wreckage burned. Police vehicles swarmed airstrip, flashing lights reflecting hangar walls. Jake descended perch, steps deliberate. Sarah remained frozen, staring fiery remains plain. "It's over," Jake said, approaching her. "Everything you schemed for, betrayed me for, gone." Tears streaked her face, looked up at him, voice barely audible. "Are you going to kill me too?" Jake's face colder than night air. "No," he replied. "Death too easy. You'll live with what you've done. Every day in cell. Haunted ruins your plans." "I loved you once," she whispered. "Before Volkov, before all this. Doesn't that mean anything?" Brief moment. Jake hesitated. 15 years shared history hung between them, ghost. Every memory tainted, irreparably stained betrayal. "No," he said finally, voice flat, unyielding. "Means nothing." Detective Miller arrived with squad-armed officers. "Sarah Perez," he announced formally. "You're under arrest. Conspiracy, espionage, attempted murder." Jake watched silence as they led her away. Composure, once carefully maintained, crumbled at last. Glanced back at him, he already turned away. Betrayal unforgivable. Sarah chosen path. "Pulled briefcase wreckage," Miller reported once she was gone. "It's all there. Entire operation fully exposed.
With this, your evidence, she'll never see daylight again.
Volkov? No way he made it out of that crash. Confirm with dental records, but it's over. Jake's eyes stayed distant flames. Send it all agencies, he ordered. Every name they sold, mission compromised. Make sure entire network dismantled. Already in progress, Miller assured, studying friend. And you? What now? Jake turned away fiery wreck, face shadowed resolve. Disappear, he said simply. Jake Riker died in that garage. Time make it official. You could stay, Miller offered. Help us clean up mess. Jake shook head. That life ended when they turned my marriage weapon. Without word, walked into darkness, leaving chaos, flames behind. Phone buzzed, pocket, final message, confirming new identity ready. Jake Riker, dead. Someone else take his place. Some men search answers, understand wife's betrayal, unraveling. Others find satisfaction, revenge. Jake accepted long ago. Some wounds never heal, some questions unanswered. Reached waiting car, acrid smoke smell, burning fuel lingered air. Crash site's fiery glow painted night, grim memorial. Didn't look back. Past belonged ashes, buried lies, betrayals. This wasn't about peace, justice, accountability. Starting engine, focused road ahead. World vast, Jake Riker no longer existed. New life beckoned, scars forever. Though he'd move on, one truth remained. Never forgive, never forget.